Well, Bobby, here we go. 23-21, Saints fall and beating themselves. There's a lot to rant about in this game. Have at it.
Well, I always look at the glass half full, and, people do better in the game. But think about the over and under. 44.5 points. What was the total? 44? So I did say take the under. Now, I wish it had been in other circumstance, but that's unbelievable how they can get that right and be that close. When you talk about 44.5 was the over and under, ended up being 44, and if you took the under, you won, even though the Saints had come away with a win. No, the game was there for the taking. But, Christian, have we set an NFL record, I don't know, half a season to miss extra points?
7 for the year.
It's an extra point. I know it's further back, but you're a pro. That's 2 critical points. You have to make it when all said and done. Very frustrating. Look, the Titans have now won 6 games in a row. They've given up about 20 points a game as of late, where we get 21. They lead the league in pressures, so that didn't surprise me. They get after Trevor Siemian. I want to say, they had 5, we had 6. So I'm not talking about sacks. I'm just talking about getting after the opposing quarterback. If you look at it, we played well on the road against the Titans, but now we still got a winning record, but it's 4-3-1 overall, and we've been impressive. 3 times away from the dome, we had a 3-1 record, and now we're 3-2. We had 3 consecutive road wins in Nashville. Now we all know that didn't happen. I think our defense is outstanding on third down. When you look at it, they only were 3 of 12, 25%. Red zone defense, they were only 2 of 5, 40%. So that means you're not giving up touchdowns. That's outstanding. They want to run the ball, even though they don't have Derrick Henry. They average 2.3 yards a carry, but you cannot afford to be -1. Deuce and I talked about this for the game. Can we be on the plus side? Can we be +1 in the turnover margin? Well, we ended up being -1. So as of right now, we're +5 for the season, and they're +2. No, it is that critical when the game unfolds. Now, still too many penalties, 9 or more penalties, like giving up a touchdown or 100 yards. We had 9 for 65. When you have 17 penalties called, you looked at the crew, but way too flag happy. You just cut that in half. You can call 8 or 9 penalties, 17. Now, if you jump off sides, you got to call that. Too nitpicking a lot of times. I think Demario Davis got a call that was interference. It didn't look like that. And then Caden Ellis roughing the passer. What? I mean, he eased up on him. And then we got an interception.
He didn't even touch his head.
And then we have an interception, Marcus Williams, and it doesn't count. You cannot miss on that type of place. I thought Mark Ingram, overall, his effort was outstanding. Christian, if you look at it, he had 61 yards receiving. He had 47 yards rushing. I think you can't expect more than that from him. But again, I would like someone to be the other leading receiver or right behind Deontay Harris than Mark Ingram. I'd rather that be receiver instead of receiver running back.
And a running back that's on the back 9 of his career.
Yeah, but we're counting on him right now. And I think Ingram's accepting the challenge overall. We averaged 4.1 yards a carry, 86 yards, 21 attempts. Really, when you look at it, and the measuring stick is always to have 65 plays. We had 61. They had 58. So when you're trying to have sustained drives, but we on third down, we were better than we've been. We were 5 of 12, but you'd want to be like 6 of 12. That makes a difference when you're in critical situations. Now, Trevor Siemian, somebody might say, well, we need a different quarterback. His quarterback rating was 105, and Ryan Tannehill was 106. So if you look at yards an attempt, 8.8 yards, so that's right under 9. That's winning football. Trevor Siemian, right at 300 yards passing. We still had the drops. I count for sure. Again, it's kind of like always about 5 or 6 drops. And when I call a drop, even a tough catch, if you're an NFL receiver and hit your hands, make a play if you want to last. When you look at it, Kevin White, I mean, he had 2 targets, no catches. It was 2 tough catches, but you want to last in the NFL, you have to make it. And that was not the case. A disappointing loss. This game should have been in overtime. You make extra points, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what's going to happen in overtime, but that should have been an overtime type game. The Saints are right there. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what we're going to do going forward. I still think what's going to come about the strength or the tough schedule that we have. If you look at it, I don't know if we can go 2-2 the next 4 games. I think 1-3, I'm still encouraged. 2-2, I'm still highly optimistic. When I look at a team like the Eagles, you got the Bills Thanksgiving night, then you got Dallas the next Thursday. Christian, we're in the meat of the schedule, and I still think we have a chance to weather the storm, who that nation. So if we can come out, not be discouraged where we're at right now, because I realistically thought after 12 games, we would be a 6-6 type team. I even thought after 14 games, we might be 7-7. I look at the back end of our schedule, but you look, Jacksonville beat Buffalo. You never know what's going to happen. But if we take care of business, you look at Miami, Carolina, and Atlanta, I think we have a great opportunity to all of a sudden go from 7-7 to 10-7. Then you're in the postseason. But it's going to be up and down, yo-yo, roller coaster, however you want to describe it.
Bobby, a lot of questions on Facebook about Adam Troutman. At what point do they just cut loose?
Well, like
maybe
Sean,
not cut him, but have somebody else.
Well,
in there.
he had 6 targets, 5 receptions, 32 yards. His long gain was 8 yards. But then also from a mental aspect, you can't jump off sides. That is too critical, a critical moment. You have to be more focused. I would not be surprised if, if they would activate Nick Vanette. They got him off injured reserve, the tight end. If you look at him, Christian, they signed him to a 3-year, $8 million contract this offseason. So now he's played with 3 different teams over 6 professional seasons, so he is a journeyman. He's had 105 receptions, 5 receiving touchdowns. Now, you might think of him more as a Josh Hill role, but right now we cannot count on Troutman. I think Nick Vanette might get more opportunities at tight end.